Welcome back, Alpha Hunters. It is the final, the ending of 2023. So the last, market outlook or wrap up for 2023. We didn't really see too much craziness kind of go on this week. Kind of didn't expect it. That's why I basically just didn't live stream this week. You can see kind of we had a little bit of a gap up there on Monday. And if you just kind of take, even from the close of last Friday, just kind of the week's performance, we only traded up about 0.8% on the week. That was up to the high for the week. You can see the low point was, well, we briefly got negative for the week there on Friday. Actually had a little bit of a good sell down there on Friday afternoon or Friday mid morning. But we didn't even get 0.1% negative on the week. So that just kind of tells you kind of what went on this week. Just kind of traded, sleepwalked higher for most of the week, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. And then Friday, we came out. We were just kind of flat, not really doing a whole lot. We had pretty good selling actually come in as the hour number 2, number 3, kind of an hour and a half there. Came in there, found a nice little bottom. So we went pretty quickly from the highs of the day, midday Thursday, to the low, or the highs of the week, midday Thursday, to the lows of the week there, kind of mid morning on Friday, and then nice little kind of bouncing off the lows, kind of closing in between where the market traded for much of the week. So that is how the week went. All right, taking a look here at sector rotation for the week. You can see XLE Energies did underperform the most. XLY also underperformed pretty well. Materials, communications, and tech underperformed this week. What outperformed? Industrials, financials, real estate, healthcare, staples, and utilities. All kind of outperformed there for the week. Okay. VIX opened higher this week on Tuesday. Nice little quick drop there, Tuesday, Wednesday. Thursday, Friday is kind of flat, just hanging out. Not really doing a whole lot there on the VIX. The dollar, nice little rebound from a breakdown that we did get on Wednesday. Very quickly on the week, broke down. Very strong kind of level to break down or try to break down after already a pretty extended move. So I don't think it's going to hold a breakdown. But we do have a pretty good kind of trend line, I guess, kind of coming through some kind of zone like this. And we kind of are at the lower end of that trend line. So I'm right there. Makes sense that we could probably get a bounce. We probably have an upper end of this trend line, maybe up here somewhere in this zone. So at least look for the DXY to make a move. And, coming back to at least that 20 EMA. And, probably won't do it rapidly, but maybe choppy. And then we'll kind of see how it bases out or what it tries to do later on. Gold, the GLD. Well, yep, this is continue to push higher. This is going to be one that I'm going to mention that probably will be looking pretty good going into 2024. To probably just continue to go higher. What's really kind of interesting here, if we take a look at the gold futures, is we haven't gotten back up to those highs, right? We had a very quick flash higher when futures opened. What day was this? Sunday, December 3rd. It was Monday's trading day. But we're slowly pushing up that way. So I would imagine any kind of like real pullbacks here are going to be bought. Probably going to be looking to break out. This has been a multi-year high. Go back to looking at a weekly time frame. Multi-year high. We snagged a pretty good kind of blow off the top moment there a couple weeks back. So probably just look for this to probably just continue higher here and breaking out probably in Q1. All right, taking a look here at the 10-year yield. 10-year yield also fell off pretty good there on Wednesday, kind of like the dollar did. Nice little recovery though. Nice little bounce back there Thursday, Friday. I'd imagine we'd probably do see a little bit more strength pushing back higher. You can also definitely tell there's been some little, downtrending line here, channel or something like that. Probably on the lower ends of it, Wednesday, Thursday. So expect, 10-year yield dollar probably bounce as we go into the early parts of 2024. 10 and 2 inversion on a sleepy week. Look at this. Very quiet Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday. Oh, Friday. Nice. I mean, look at this very nice basing pattern that we got kind of coming on here on the inversion yields. So, will we see this continue as we go into 2024, beginning parts of 2024? I would imagine so, because this is a pretty good, month and a half of kind of just basing out here in this zone. Looks pretty solid to me. I'd imagine it probably does continue to go. And that's when the history says is once this thing uninverts and gets back above that zero line, that's when we start to see some real bearishness on the markets. So we'll see what it looks like. HYG, the high yield corporate bonds. Well, you can definitely see that we had a nice little try to break out early on in the week, when Tuesday, Wednesday, and then Thursday, Friday, right back down, false breakout, coming back below. So we had another little false breakout after we had one late last week, Thursday, Friday. So that's 2 weeks in a row. We kind of had a false breakout, and Tuesday, Wednesday was even a little bit higher. So yeah, next week's gonna be a rather interesting one. The beginning of the year. LQD, nice. Also trying to break out there early on in the week on Wednesday. Thursday, Friday came right back down. So doesn't look as blatantly obvious. If you just put a line in there, I guess anywhere. Yeah, it came right back down. It didn't hold over this wick that we had back on December 14th. Okay, there you go. That's about all we got. TLT made also another move higher, but it didn't hold as well. So a lot of these, bonds or, bond ETFs are throwing these, false breakouts. There's been a lot of momentum. There was no rush to sell, right, in the stock market and the bond market, because there was so much momentum that had been built up over the previous really 2 months, month and a half, 2 months. So it wasn't really a major need necessary to go ahead and sell out now. You didn't feel like you couldn't wait till next week. You weren't going to miss anything. But yeah, nice rejection here so far. Off of these lows, had a hard time kind of getting through this zone, and we'll see what happens in the beginning part of 2024. All right, taking a look at the RSP, the Equal Weight SP 500, as we continue to make highs, trending, and this is yearly highs now. That's kind of think about it. So we are basically sitting at yearly highs. We hit the new yearly high there on Thursday. Friday, a little bit of a pullback there. I like more the allocation into RSP, IWM, maybe even DIA. DIA has a little bit of a different weighting. It's kind of weird. I'm not going to really get into the DIA. I don't really care for it that much. I mostly just track it here because, well, it has a lot of people do look at it. But other than that, I don't really care to worry about the allocation so much. But the RSP here, I would be more interested in the allocation there. So speaking of that DIA and that allocation that I don't care for, continues to make all-time highs. Obviously, we know it broke out in Q4 and early December. And it looks pretty good. I had a nice little quick retest of that previous all-time high area. Didn't quite get there, but yeah, just continue to push higher. This week, didn't really have a huge breakdown. Nice little lower wick, what it looks like on Friday. That looks pretty bullish as we go into 2024. So the DIA doesn't look too bad here. Now, I said I like the allocation more into the RSP and the IWM, and you can see the IWM had a pretty bearish day on Friday. It's okay. It has absolutely ripped it since, late October, where it was at yearly lows, even multi-year lows, but it just went to, yearly highs, 52-week highs, basically 2 months later. And so, it might be due for a pullback. I do more want to move into an allocation of the RSP IWM kind of going forward, and it has been one that I've been saying here for the past couple of months. I think it's one that's going to continue to work for a couple of years, and yeah, I think any kind of dips are going to be bought, and we might have a bigger pullback in Q1, and it's not going to be one that the IWM is going to be the only one doing it. I think it'll be pretty much market broad. Q, SPY, everything. But the IWM, I think, is the one that you're going to want to watch, as I think the IWM will perform pretty well during that market downturn, and people will be going into the IWM over the Qs at that point in time. Speaking of those Qs, well, we did have a little bit more of an extension into new all-time high territory, especially into the Thursday, and then we sold down basically Thursday and Friday, trying to bounce off that 10 EMA. Let's see if it holds as we go into early part of 2024. It's going to be kind of tough to say. I do have a little bit of theory of what we might see early on next year. I'll talk about it when we get to the SPY. But the Qs, it looks like you probably just want to continue bullish, but I don't know. You can definitely do that. Just, you use your trailing stops, right? I think we'll probably see more downside later, and might happen pretty soon into Q1, maybe even early as next week. But yeah, I mean, as for now, just continue to ride the wave. All right, SPY. Let's talk about it. I'm gonna kind of high level. I'm gonna have another video kind of coming out what I expect in 2024. So I'm not gonna go through all that. But if you are not one that thinks that we're gonna continue to be bullish, but you saw all the momentum that came in here over the past 2 months, this week really wasn't gonna be a week that was going to pivot and turn over the market and we were going to drop like 3 to 5%. Like you knew that wasn't going to happen, especially like you're a big fund. It's like, if you're a big fund, could I wait a week? Could I wait to the new year? If you're a big time investor, yeah, you can. And why do you want to wait till the new year? Well, taxes. If you sell out of a position right here at the end of the year, well, you're gonna have to pay taxes on it here in 4 months, right? If you can just wait past the new year, well, you don't have to pay taxes on it in 4 months. You're going to pay taxes on it in about 16 months. So it's a big difference. And, since we're at these levels, we're hugely overbought by a lot of metrics. Do we just rest sideways and then slowly grind higher? Maybe that's a possibility. But I think there's pretty convincing data, especially on the consumer side, that we will see probably bearishness actually creep back in Q1, and that we might start to see if that is your thesis, right? And you're a big time hedge fund, you're a big time fund, you've been riding this wave. Like, you see so much momentum here. There's no need to rush out the door. You can just wait till the new year. That way you don't have to pay your taxes, taxes on gains or whatever, capital gains or whatever. And then you just wait. You just wait till the new year, and then you make your changes. Because if you do think that there will be a downturn next year, then, just wait till next week and then go ahead and start cutting back some, right? There's no need to do it before the end of the year. So anyways, with that being said, I think we will start to see some issues, especially on the consumer side, consumer spending and things like that will push down the S&P 500. And I'll have a little bit more of a video come out about that. But I wouldn't be shocked if we see selling next week, especially since we saw a pretty good amount of volume actually come in, and we saw a pretty good amount of selling there in the first half of the day on the S&P 500. So yeah, it might be an interesting one next week, even the first half of January. But I'll be paying attention to the data, especially consumer spending data, to see what's going on in those areas. Alpha, it's been a great 2023. Looking forward to 2024. Hopefully I can provide more better value to you guys. Definitely was not, my best year by any means, but it is what it is. It's the market. You're never going to get it 100% right. I just don't want to, have my pants ripped off. So Alpha, have a great weekend. Happy New Year. Talk to y'all in the new year, and see if we can make some improvements. Alrighty. Take care, Alpha.